Okay, we're back. So now you gotta put a connector on there. Okay, you can see this here. I have a piece of wood here with a bunch of different holes cut in it. And this one has just a perfect hole where these Dean's plugs to fit into. Right? A little bit of glue, or what should I say, flux on there. And let's get some shrink tubing here. Big enough to cover those. I'll put the shrink tubing on these wires. Now this is the battery lead, I know that. Okay. So now that I got that done, I'm going to hand hold these. Okay, so I know which connector is the positive, which is the negative. The one that's maybe I should zoom in on this, hey? Okay, so the top one here is the positive, and the bottom is the negative. Now, if you notice, the bottom is offset. This is the shallow side. There's more room on the other side. So that's where we're going to be putting the solder joint, and on the top of this pin, not on the bottom, because it's too close to the other joint, right? So first off, I'm going to tin this just a little bit. Okay. And I'll tin my wires. Okay, so that done. Just solder the positive wire on top there. Right? I didn't tin this bottom. That now. I'll just solder this wire onto the negative prong. You really want to be careful not to get these Dean's connectors really, really hot. Okay? Because you'll melt the plastic in there. But having it in a stand like this rather than just in a vise can be better, because it holds the prongs in place. What you can do is you could have this, right, plugged into the other end of the Dean's plug, just to keep the pins aligned. It's always a good trick. Okay, put my shrink tubing up there now. More fire. So there. Now we'll plug this ESC into channel 3. I know I got an 8-channel receiver going in here. We're thinking of putting some other stuff in this plane though. Maybe not, we'll see. First we gotta get it flying, but it's with Turner-G. Okay, so now turn my radio on. Make sure it's on the Predator. Okay. I plug my ESC in. And my receiver is bound. But the question is, okay, now that was hardly anything, but I blew a pilot off the shelf. Last time I couldn't blow anything around the hobby room. Well, That feels a lot better. I'll show you here. Radio on. Okay. So, I've got the watt meter here. I'll hold this on my lap. Oh, jeepers. Can I zoom in on this watt meter? That's the question. Enough for you guys to read it? Is that enough there? Maybe a little more? How's that? You read that? Okay, so the radio here, you're watching that. Here we go. You see that? One more time. I don't think anything's getting too hot. The motor doesn't seem to be getting that hot. But you saw that was over double. Yeah, I'll unplug that. Hey? That was over double the power by going from 3 cells, or from 2 cells to 3 cells. So, that I think will work out. Now, I don't think I need all that much power. I preferred more like 100, 125, but 150 watts. It's only fit around 15 amps. And I've got a 18 amp speed controller in here. So I believe that's going to work out just fine. Now, anybody know where the CG is supposed to be on this airplane? Third of the wing. That's going to be a weird setting. But man, maybe I'm going to have to use a smaller speed control, because if I plan to use this for ESC, if I plan to use this battery, okay, oh yeah, there's lots of room there. The lid's big. Huh. For that matter. The battery could Velcro up there, couldn't it? Still fit in there. With all this stuff in there. Anyways. Okay. Now remember these wings. Holy moly. So fragile, man. So fragile. But that's okay. I'm going to revamp these up a bit here. Right? They were crushed. Pretty good. But we'll fix them up. I think we can get the landing gear fixed up for this Predator. Yes. Anyways, take these screws off of here. Take the I guess you could say the bottom of the old airplane off. Well, it's still got pieces of the airplane that it was attached to. I think this was, these were off a cap 232. Yeah. They'll make new Predator landing gear. And I'm going to have to rig a wire one. I guess I'll show you. I'll bend a wire one. Bend one up of wire to make a front landing gear. Now, this is small, and I don't think I'm going to waste the space or the servo on making the front landing gear steerable. So, I think we'll just put a fixed front landing gear, but hopefully we won't need to use a lot of runway and takeoff with all this power and a big wing. It'll just float and take off right away. But this kit doesn't have any landing gear in it, which really is sort of a, I don't know, they they warn you about the crashing and hard landings and what's so fragile breaks, but then to bring this on its belly would be just horrible, I think. Anyone else has flown one of these, and you have any idea where you had your CG and where it should be, give me a message, please. I'd very much be happy to see where I should be setting the CG on this. I'll go 1/3 back on the wing. That's a standard for most airplanes. Or 2/3 back. 1/3 back of the wing span for CG. So I don't know how deep these are. 1/3 back. We'll see. See, usually a lot of times the manufacturer sort of gives it away because there's a spar in the wing. Anybody that would be, you know, well, I can't say for sure. See, in this wing, this little tiny aluminum spar goes right here. Now, I'll bet ya then it goes through the airplane. But I'll bet you the CG is somewhere around this aluminum spar. Somewhere in here, somewhere. I bet you the CG is, but we'll see. I get a belt, start building it, set it up. We'll determine that. I gotta put that tail section on. It doesn't look overly friendly, to tell you the truth. It's got 4 wires sticking out of it. I don't think the wires are secured in the yellow or the V-tail properly. We'll have to see here. What would be easier? Hold the screwdriver and spin the nut. Do that fast with a wrench. Here we go. Now, that's a little better landing gear. I will have to take, I guess, some advice, or if anybody has ideas where on here I'm going to put this. And the nose gear. Probably somewhere there. I'm not too sure. If it goes there, if that's a good amount, mount it to that wood. That's a strong spot. Wow. We don't know. We'll see. There's a nose wheel up here. I think those will work. I don't know. I'll take a peek on the internet. See if any of you guys have any videos of making this thing. Okay. Well. And this part, I'm not too sure about. We'll get some of this video uploaded now that I've got the 18 amp ESC in here. And we're prepared to run this on an 11 volt live pole. So, next thing will be to put the V-tail on. Well, that was not fun. Okay, so, I got my Turnigy here. When I tried to mix a V-tail for some reason, it would only let me do the rudder and the elevator. And like that. So, what do? I get the old-fashioned external one. Okay, so now you can see, maybe you can't see. You see my servos? They're up and down. They go up and down together. So, using the external V-tail mixer, I got in there now. Okay, so that fixes that issue. It's way easier than mixing the radio. But if you know how do you put ailerons and elevator for V-tail mixing in a Turnigy radio? If anybody has any idea, let me know. We'll be back. I'll upload a couple videos and we'll come back and we'll put the V-tails on here.